Hold on, I'll just hit the go live button. That'll fix them. Hey, everybody, we're live, and you're watching us watch something stupid on another episode of Good Improv Watches. Now, for those of you who are peeking into my window, this will be the second time you've seen the intro. But for those of you joining us online, hello.
We're going to be watching.
Oh, it's so good. So good to have you all back. We're going to be watching, yes, First Circle Part 2.
Yes.
About the evils of Stalinist Russia. Ooh.
That's right. That's right. So a brief recap of Part 1. A guy made a phone call to an ambassador, English ambassador, I believe, because he had information about someone trying to steal atomic technology secrets, and he felt this isn't something that should happen, so he phoned English ambassador. The Schmerish guys knew that he phoned the English ambassador, and they're trying to find him. And then there's Gulag scientists and mathematicians who are trying to be convinced to I guess use their skills to help find the guy, I think. And then we have Christopher, was it Christopher Plummer? Who was it?
Yes.
Christopher Plummer, who's playing an actual historical figure, actually. Stalin and the guy Christopher Plummer is playing are actual historical figures. They're trying to find this guy, and then it turned into a Three Stooges movie. Weirdly.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's true. And I'll tell you something about old Joseph Stalin. Now, you won't hear this on any conventional comedy show, but I'll say it. I'll be brave enough to say it. Joseph Stalin didn't like the J word. See that?
What's the J word?
What's the J word?
Oh, of course, the J. Oh, what's the J word? You're playing coy. Of course, the J word is juice.
Ah, he didn't like juice. I think that was Hitler.
Like juice.
I think that was Hitler. He kept talking about the juice having to be.
Man, wouldn't that be a bummer, hey, if you were just misunderstood to that degree? It's like, guys, okay, 6 million of you? I just wanted a glass of orange juice, guys.
Yeah, I said juice, guys. We got a lot of juice left over in the fridge.
And it's ruining the German economy because we bought so much of it.
How did you misunderstand this? Well, you talk very excitedly and wave your arms around. It's kind of hard to kind of hear what you're saying sometimes.
Well, we could go on all day about poor misunderstood Adolf Hitler, but why don't we get over to the movie that we're going to be watching today, huh?
All right, let's do it.
All right, let's go. Hey, all right. Made it just in time for the film.
It's just in time for the gulag.
They kept my passport.
Why?
They wanted me on a short leash. I said to hell with that. Forged a new passport and hit the road.
And you didn't get caught?
Oh, not for a long time. Rent the ropes quickly.
Oh, remind everyone as well that everyone has a different accent in this movie.
Even though it takes place in Russia.
Yeah, even though they're presumably all speaking the same language and from the same general area.
Have we heard even one Russian accent during this yet?
No one's doing a Russian. It's either French, British, or one of them Canadian.
I figured they wouldn't be looking for me after such a long time.
Yeah, I was just off at Leningrad there, eh?
Good day. I'm Joseph Stalin.
No special.
Dude, I don't think that's how those torches work. I don't think you can power it with your breath like that.
You just blow right. He's got fire breath. This guy.
He ate some talkies before. Some spicy chips.
Oh my god. Okay, unrelated note, but it's about spice, so I got to tell you guys this. I watched a video today of a man taking a ghost pepper. You're familiar with those peppers?
Yep, ghost peppers. Yeah.
Crumbling it up into a powder, putting it inside of a bong, and then smoking it.
Oh.
What?
Oh.
Insane.
That's a good way to wreck your lungs out, your esophagus,
Yes.
I would guess.
You mean to tell me that you can crumble things up, put them into a bong, and smoke it?
Mm-hmm.
No, really.
Well, that's shocking.
You can do ghost peppers. You can do Carolina Reapers. You can even do a jalapeno if you're not feeling super spicy.
Habaneros? They got to be dry, though. You got to dry them.
You got to dry them first. See, that's one of the freedoms that the Soviet Russians wouldn't allow you to enjoy. You couldn't just go crumbling up any old pepper and smoking it if you wanted to.
Yeah, For them, it's just Anaheim's. It's all they let you have.
Just Anaheim's.
Because those were Stalin's favorite pepper, and anybody who didn't like Anaheim's got thrown in the gulag.
Is this the guy? There's also a guy who's trying to work for the Schmerish guys to get info to like work undercover and spy on his friends. Is that guy? I can't remember. He was a young guy. I remember.
It might be that guy.
He lied. He told him about the guy reading the poetry book.
I wonder if I might consult you about something I'm working on. Of course. What is it? Well, not here, if you don't mind. I understand. Come. Just give me a little apartment.
Oh, yeah. Well, anybody who was listening would know that something was going on there, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. I like the sound of the word schmerish. It
Schmerish.
kind of sounds like cherish or perish.
Yeah. I think that's
Schmerish.
how. I think that's how you pronounce
Schmiegel.
Schmiegel. Regal.
It's the other Soviet anti-spy organization.
Right. Yeah, Bond fights him.
Yeah,
there.
like James Bond.
Schmerish.
Yeah, James Bond fights him.
Schmerish.
I have to fight Schmerish. You say Schmerish? Yes, Schmerish.
So many fragments that the message would be impossible to decode without the proper receiving device.
Yeah.
I've been working on such a
I've
transmitter.
not described that.
unofficially.
And you think you may have solved the problem?
Well, it would be presumptuous of me to say so. I know I lack the theoretical background, but I would be grateful if you would look at my design and tell me if it has merit.
It's just a drawing of his penis.
Now you're gay. Bam!
Oh my God, the lines, the curves.
The way you bring the veins to life.
Thank you.
I must have liked it. Said thank you.
May I ask one more favor? Please don't mention this design to Colonel Yakinov.
Of course. Not a word.
Yeah.
I sounded Irish.
Yeah, of course, not a word there, lad.
Not a word to him.
I won't let Colonel Yakinov know a thing.
Make sure you see your face in that samovar. Yes, madam. Mama, Katya, for goodness sakes, put the flowers over by the window. Yes, dear. What is it?
Oh, they're keeping the candlestick maker in business.
Yeah, well, number one industry. It's the number one industry in men. Not a lot of people
But
do
they're
that.
not.
Okay.
Most of them are intelligent, gentle people. I'm not sure they belong in prison at all.
Oui,
That's-
I'm not sure they belong in the Russian prison.
Happened with the just
That's gulag talk right there, as far as I'm concerned.
That's the way it's supposed to be.
What do you mean, don't belong in prison?
This guy has like a Chinese accent. None of this makes sense.
These things. I find it very upsetting. I don't know why I bother talking to you at all.
That's enough, young lady. Don't speak.
You know how there's French kissing and you use your tongue? Well, there's also Russian kissing. But the fun part is you don't use your tongue and you don't even kiss.
We don't kiss each other. You just stare.
We are
Some
trying to
frown.
achieve that ideal. That's all.
But that's not what I see.
What's this guy's accent? And is that supposed to be their daughter? Is this
guess.
woman with a French accent the daughter of this guy and that other woman who have no French accents at all?
All I really care about is feathering your own nest.
Feathering your own nest. Oh, what a cutting metaphor. A metaphor that's for the birds.
Ah, those Russians, they knew how to metaphor.
Just her age. She'll be all right when she gets married and settles down. Russia, the top egg needs salt.
Oh, what a disaster.
What is that? It's insulting.
Was that line meant to be delivered sarcastically like that? It's like, oh, what a disaster.
What's this? Happy birthday, Gleb.
Odd. Okay.
Every year this man remembers my birthday. Even
Oh, they seem a lot happier in the gulag than they did in that rich lady's house.
What's this? A cigarette case? We're having a party tonight with a special birthday pudding.
All right, quiet, everybody.
What do you think the pudding will
It's
be
like
made out
Hogan's.
of?
Well, what did we decide last time? It was pudding. It wasn't rice. It was
Was
something
it
other weird.
potato pudding, was it?
Potato pudding or something.
Potato pudding, yeah.
What's the matter?
Aren't you happy to have a visit?
I don't know.
Russian Rodney Dangerfield here.
I was just thinking that.
I got no respect. Hey, they threw me in a gulag. I don't know what to say.
It's really not a funny situation at all.
It's Rodney Dangerfield. It's Rodney Dangerfield, but he tells Yakov Smirnov jokes.
Well, I tell you, in America, you get no respect. In Russia, you get a lot of respect, I guess.
I love her. I believe in her. And I hope.
All right, calm down. It's not that important scene, all right? If anyone's interested in following our stream here, we will be doing, after Good Improv Watches, we'll be doing Good Improv Reads, where we will just be reading the book, The First Circle.
Yeah.
Yeah, we won't be like reading aloud. It'll just be us just each individually reading it, occasionally making a comment. No way of knowing if we're on the same page or not, but, you know. So feel free to watch that. That's going to be good.
That's going to be great.
Yeah.
Some problem with his nose, no doubt. He didn't say, but I'm sure he'd want to come in.
Yeah. Also, shout out to the letter V and Vegetable Crew if you're in the chat. Fwa, fwa, fwa. Drop a carrot. Drop a carrot emoji. Drop a pumpkin emoji. Drop a lettuce emoji.
Pumpkin, I think a pumpkin is a fruit, isn't it, technically?
Not according to the card.
Yeah, I guess.
Got peas on there. Pea crew.
These are legumes.
Legumes. That sounds very French.
Legume.
Legume.
That's Russian to me.
Really?
They all sound, yeah, everything sounds Russian.
Everything sounds kind of vaguely
everything
Russian.
Take him to
everything tastes
Gulag Legume.
Sounds Russian.
Sentence over the microphone to see if I can decipher it. What's wrong? You can read voice print? Yes, but only under very controlled conditions. Even then, it isn't foolproof. So,
It really needs to be foolproof.
Foolproof. They're working on trying to find.
maybe we can give ourselves a little advantage by
The
anticipating.
stairs seem foolproof. I haven't seen one person slip and fall.
They look like rough stairs too. If you slip
chances
down.
a bit.
It's probably filmed like some Canadian Parliament somewhere.
Look, Glenn, it's a valid process. We both know that. But it will be months before we
Trust this
perfect
guy.
it.
He was in Legally Blonde. He knows what he's talking about.
In that case, they may not see any further reason to keep us in splendid luxury.
Parliament's my favorite mint. Barbie on spearmint or peppermint. Give me the Parliament.
Parliament.
What do you want to do? As one of the authorized announcers, you'll probably be asked to read the test sentence. Now, if it is you, just say,
Test
Just say-
sentence?
Booby tit tit. Hilarious.
That's from
These
Joseph
guys are
Stalin
testing-
himself.
They're testing out sentences?
Well, they're testing to see if they can identify his voice.
The
'Cause they're
voice
trying to
print.
find his voice, right?
Oh.
got it.
The guy very cleverly disguised his voice by putting a scarf over his receiver.
I forgot. This is the gulag for dorks. The smart dorks.
Yeah, this is the.
This is
nice
the gulag that gets bullied and shoved in the lockers by the other gulags.
This soundproof acoustical booth.
The VIR then translates the speech patterns into visual images which appear on the paper. In other words,
A waveform.
thank you, gentlemen.
It's just a long picture of his penis on the.
Yeah. Take a look.
In the Soviet Union, who can read voice prints. General? Lev, would you please show the General what you and your machine can do?
With pleasure, Major.
Don't like
Lev
to-
Rubin's associate.
Hey, you know how the internet is mostly full of pornography? What is it, like 97%
At
of
least.
the internet? I got to figure it was the same with telegrams and whatnot, you know?
Yeah. Any new technology, porn's the first industry to jump on it. So probably Telegram.
Telegrams. That's great. Hot, stop, and horny, stop. Singles, stop. In your area, stop.
Yes, stop. Yes, stop. Yes, stop. Yes, stop. Oh God.
Oh my
stop.
God. Telegraph sex. That's awesome. Yeah, instead of phone sex.
That's pretty good.
So it's just like, what are you wearing? And then it's just a series of dots and dashes with the guy just going, oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's hot. Oh baby.
You may begin.
Will that hideous wailing sound help the recording at all? Or?
I think that's part of it. Now you'll notice when he's recording, it has to be totally quiet in here.
That's it. May I have my magnifying glass, please?
It's a line on a page. What?
It's just a
Well, he's
teeny
drawn
tiny
micro
little penis.
penises.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh.
Prince. Usable. No, enable.
This is like Inception level of people looking over other people's shoulders here.
Yeah.
Oh,
So are they just bullshitting? Like he's just pretending that he could
Has to be.
do.
And
Yeah.
the last phrase is the telephone. I recognize it immediately because it's a combination that we use quite often. So, voice prints enable deaf people to use the telephone. Is that correct?
Amazing. Ruben, can you distinguish individual voice traits on voice prints?
That is the subject of our research. We call it individual speech type.
Then I have an assignment for you. I want you to listen to a tape recording and tell me what you make of it.
With pleasure, General. But would you excuse my associate? He has to prepare for a visit from his wife.
Yes, he can go.
Oh, Lev, I don't really...
Prisoner, you're wasting time.
He's like, oh no, please. I'd be much happier here in the gulag than with my wife.
You're a prisoner, Ruben. But you were once a communist.
I'm still a communist.
And have a chance to prove it.
This is like reverse McCarthyism.
Yeah.
I swear to God, I'm a communist. I swear to God.
Why do I have to get changed? Well, we want you to go out looking your best. Why? Surely. As this superb uniform is designed...
Look, it reflects poorly on the gulag when you go out there in tattered rags, looking all beaten up.
Yeah.
They literally would do that. They would dress them in brand new uniforms and clothes, even if they had been tortured or beaten or
Yeah,
had been wearing rags.
So it looks like they're being well treated.
Always have
Yep.
to make a fuss about everything.
I mean, according to a guy whose book I read, I wasn't there. I don't have firsthand visual knowledge or experience with a gulag.
Gonna have to help me with that. You do it yourself. I can't remember how.
These are the tortures of the gulag. You got to tie your own tie, buddy. No help from anybody.
Yeah. You know, maybe it
all
would help
right, I'll
with
get it
racing.
started.
Well, can you identify the caller for us?
I'll try.
We got 5 names from the Foreign Ministry. Here they are with
It was Wang Dix
Seymour Butts.
and Seymour Butts. Yeah.
Leonid Sigovity.
Zavazin,
Anton Zavazin.
Belakovsky,
They're giving him dating profiles here, seeing if he wants to.
Volodin.
Inokente Volodin.
That's the one. That's the one who did it.
The telephone voices.
It'll be done soon.
I'll also need to work with the tape.
Major Reutman will have it. You and he will be assigned a room in the top secret section. They're getting it ready.
Who can I speak to about this work?
Only Major
They all kind of wear those John Lennon type glasses.
The help of my associate Gleb Nerzhin.
Vladimir Lenin type
It's so
glasses.
difficult. I'll need someone to exchange ideas.
Well, those two.
All right. Make sure he understands this is the highest security.
Wait a minute. Do you think that's why John Lennon wore the Lennon style
Oh,
glasses?
his name was already Lennon. Might as well go all the way with it.
And interestingly enough, John Lennon is also encased in a tomb where his body is on permanent display, right?
Is he? Wow. Okay, I gotta go see that. Do they still have that Lennon tomb? Do they still have it, or do they get rid of it
I
now?
think so.
It's still
I
rolling.
think they still do. Yeah.
I
Forever.
saw a thing about all the stuff they have to do to like keep the corpse, from disintegrating, and it's pretty horrifying.
One moment, I'll put you through.
They do have. I know they have a thing with Peter the Great. It's like a big. It looks really lame. It's a lame like mannequin of Peter the Great wearing like his actual clothes, and I think they have his like actual like hair of his on it.
Weird.
Yeah, just sitting there on a thing for you to look at.
Wow.
Apparently, he was almost 7 feet tall. Peter the Great. He was a big guy, tall guy.
And in that time, that would have been the equivalent to like being like 9 feet tall today.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, and I guess he was in England for a time, going to school, and he was just a party asshole. Like he would like do damage to property, getting drunk with his friends, and.
Well, leave a note for them, will you?
Certainly.
Sounds like the Peter the Not So Great.
Yeah, Peter the douche. files.
And I think this is one of the fellas from the pictures there.
Oh, is that the guy?
Yeah, I think
think
that's
so,
the guy.
yeah.
That's I forget his name. Oh,
The scarf guy.
yeah, scarf guy.
Must first go through me. You will not discuss work conditions, living conditions, the daily schedule, or the location of this institute.
Then what can we talk about? Politics?
Finally, a Russian voice there.
Finally.
I will not
Well,
discuss your indictment.
hold it.
That's a secret. Ask about your families or your children. One thing. From now on, holding hands with visitors and kissing are forbidden. We only see each other once a year. Are you challenging the orders, prisoner?
But my wife doesn't know. She'll kiss me.
Your relatives will be informed.
There's never been such a rule.
There is none. How long will the visit last?
If my mother comes, will she be let in?
The visits will last half an hour. I will admit only the person for whom the notification was made.
And my 5-year-old son?
Children up to the age of 15 are admitted with an adult. Are there any more questions?
Yeah, when's the
Why do we have
pizza
this
party?
system? This seems really inconvenient and horrible. I thought it was something about us, workers having the means of production. I thought wasn't that the whole thing? Did we miss that? Did we forget to implement that part? That's just my own question. That's what I was curious about.
I tell you what, these Stalinist gulags really put the mean in the means of production.
It's like, yeah, it just seems like the state has even more control over the means of production than
Yeah,
ever before.
Like, this is awful. Because I just finished reading this Marx book, and it just seems like we've kind of stepped away from this.
Doesn't
I don't
mention
know.
gulags even once.
We did the revolution bit, like that bit we did, like that all, yep, all checking all the boxes. But then everything after that, it seems like we're just ignoring that.
That's funny. How do you think that went down when the Russian Revolution happened? Do you think that they were like planning to be horrible monsters, or was it just like, hey, you know what? We could really be horrible monsters with this, guys.
I think Stalin saw it as a way to power. I think
100%.
Lenin saw it as a way to power. Trotsky, I think, was, and it maybe started with like being legitimate about it, but then you're the leader of a revolution. Now you're in power. You don't want to give up that power. That's the problem with having a revolution, right? Somebody had to lead it. Now somebody's in charge.
We need to have somebody in charge.
Yeah.
Yep.
Bet if Jesus managed to kick the Romans out, he would have been the same way.
Just genocide them.
It's supposed to be something about Kingdom of Heaven? Yeah, well, that's going to wait a little bit. In the meantime, to the gulag with you. Simon.
See how you like crucifixion, buddy. Yeah, man, thinking about the sheer number of crucifixions the Romans did back then.
Oh,
it would have been weird if they didn't get Jesus, almost. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was his crime. Yeah, it was an execution for sedition, right? Like,
Yeah.
you were like the state, kind of, right? That's what it was for.
Right.
But they hit a lot of people with that crucify wand there, you know?
Yeah. Well, you make an example of it, right? Don't you toe the line, otherwise this is what you get.
Still have the strength to go to the Arctic. You're lucky. I'd marry the first prosperous old man who'd take me.
And you could leave your husband behind bars?
It's easy to see you haven't been waiting long.
5 years. And before that, he was at the front.
I can't count that. It isn't the same thing. Then it was easy to wait. Everyone was waiting.
Just show them your permit and they'll look at your parcel.
Don't be so rough. It's a little cake for my husband's birthday.
How do I know it's his birthday?
It just tears it apart.
Attention, ladies. You all know the rules. Any violation will terminate these privileges. Over there. There.
This is my wife. Hey, I told her to sit there. That's where she's sitting.
No, it's against the rules.
You want to make contact with him, you have to touch me, and then I will touch him. Touch me. That's how it is.
Now, I think my wife must be following the old Russian gulag rules there.
Well, happy birthday.
Quite a coincidence that it should be today.
Stars.
Wait a minute. Is that what MC Hammer was trying to say when he recorded the hit song Can't Touch This?
I think so. I think he was talking about gulags. He was very
gulag
political.
anthem.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize.
We have everything we need.
But no sweets, you said.
And when it's like, stop, hammer time. When the original lyric was stop, hammer and sickle time.
Yeah, right? Because what's on, yeah, exactly. What's on the flag? A hammer and a sickle.
Yes.
I'd like to see a collaboration between MC Hammer and MC Escher.
You have a new blouse.
Stop. Also downstairs. Just doing that little hammer shuffle like up and
Up
down
and down, yeah. A surreal stairscape.
Oh, like he leaves over here, but then he comes out over here going up like that.
Yeah.
Now, there were no rules about rubbing his penis under the table. I heard
right.
that. Didn't hear any rules.
No rules about me taking my top off.
That's right. It was just touching.
It's just that my life is so hectic.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm in a gulag, FYI.
How's your life hectic? Well, I live in Soviet Russia. So.
I baked this cake earlier. It's been like a really terrible time for me.
You're not wearing your wedding ring.
No, it's better sometimes.
I stole it to make that cake.
Gleb.
Like an 80s Duran Duran video or something. Like just.
He once insisted that we get a divorce.
They were really excited to use the slide with their camera.
So you wouldn't be against it. If I had to for convenience, not for you, of course.
Good girl. You should have done it a long time ago.
Yeah, you should have done it before you went to Gulag.
Don't hope too much for the end of my term. Term is conditional. It can spiral on forever.
Right? And often they would.
Yeah. Find a reason, yep. Boy, it's good to know that Russia now is just,
Totally turned everything around.
everything around. Duly elected officials.
Yeah.
No
Barely
weird
stirring their-
assassinations of poison in the middle of the night anymore.
Yeah. No planes being shot
Yep.
down because the person's on it that you don't want there anymore.
I will love you.
And they have their own type of dressing. Russian dressing.
Yeah, it's pretty good on a Reuben sandwich. Though I like mustard on my Reuben sandwich as well.
Oh, yeah, mustard on the Reuben for sure.
Yeah, you need that mustard. That's a nice show. That was a good show. Yeah, let him get it.
Yeah.
Well, Russia is almost as big as that man's forehead. He looks like one of those aliens that had Captain Pike there.
Oh, yeah.
The stretchy-faced guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear that.
Eno Canty.
Ah, Velikovsky, how are you?
Fine, just fine.
Well,
I'm just...
is this exhibition as unremarkable as it seems?
Well, you won't have to endure it much longer. Soon it'll be the Louvre and...
Is it unremarkable if you're talking about it?
Stiff. You must be looking forward to it.
Well, it's always painful to leave Mother Russia.
But when it's our duty, Volodin.
Of course.
That's the guy who makes the phone call. He's in the foreign ministry, and he's going to leave Russia. He's going to try and...
Oh, really?
Tell me the winters are worse than Siberia.
What a
He's
shame.
going to head to Canada.
Yeah.
Nara's
My Russian, he isn't my neighbor anymore, but I had a Russian neighbor, and I remember when we were shoveling our walks in November, and he said, "Is it always in November where you get this much snow?" Yeah, it used to be earlier. He goes, I'm from Russia, and we don't have to shovel anything until December. Like, this is ridiculous. So when someone from Russia is complaining about the weather, you know,
I mean, sure, we're constantly digging mass graves for all the bodies, but nothing with the snow.
Yeah. Oh no, we've done that in Canada too. We did that in Canada too. We called them schools.
You know, you gotta kind of feel for the elites of Russia after the Russian Revolution there, you know?
Yeah.
Like, they gunned down the Tsar, and then his kid, like his hemophiliac kid that was gonna like die in 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yes. Killed
That's
all
rough.
the kids. Yeah.
The Bolsheviks did.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's rough.
Yeah. There was a guy from British Columbia who claimed until his dying day that he was actually Alexei. He was the boy.
Somebody just need to punch him on the arm real hard and see if he got a huge bruise or not.
He was.
He was.
Hemophiliac. Yeah, but he couldn't prove it, you know. But because there's always that rumor that the youngest two, Alexei and Anastasia, were snuck out.
Escaped. Yeah.
But I mean, it's highly unlikely. They were probably shot. You know, they wouldn't just let them go.
Like, all right, you lovable scamp, run out in the wilderness there.
You guys
come back and reclaim the throne when you're old enough. You.
Like a little
1 minute. 1 minute.
No showtime.
Don't be surprised if they send me away from here, far away, and my letters stop altogether.
Little Seinfeld music would spruce this movie up.
A nice laugh track on it.
Yeah.
Pascal, Newton, and Einstein.
You were told not to name names. Break it up.
That was quite funny.
That's pretty good. Yeah, that's a solid one.
Yeah.
Do the best for yourself in everything you do.
What are you doing?
Your visit is cancelled. Cancelled? To hell with you. Nurture, outside now.
That's it.
Wood.
Well, she's getting executed.
I finished all the way to climax.
I only needed the minute anyway.
He starts to rush to the table, like, oh, wait, hold on. Oh, wait, no, he's strangling her. Okay, it's fine. Don't worry about it, guys.
Thought it was affection. That was
affection. Turns out it's domestic violence.
Imagine you're in one of these horrible gulags. You know, you've been tortured, you've been beaten, you've been starved, and you're thinking, God, I wonder if life in the next gulag over is any better. And over there, they're having pool parties and...
Yeah. Life's always greener in the other gulag. You know, that's what they say.
That is what they say, yep. The clubs are always a little less bludgeoning.
Hold on, guys. Sorry, I got to pick this guy up.
He has a valid pass. There's nothing we can do.
Valid pass. The gulag prisoners like ring the bell. Like, well, shit, I got to stop. He rang the bell.
We've never dealt with this before.
Should take that out.
Just listen carefully. You've got to contact the ambassador immediately. Unfortunately, the ambassador's left town for a few days. I'm not sure I can get in touch with him. Can I help you? In the next few days in New York, a Soviet agent.
What's going on?
George Lamel will take delivery of a parcel in a radio store on Broadway. Look, this connection isn't all that good. I'm sorry. Could you repeat that slowly? Listen to me, will you? One day soon, an American contact
spy, George
Yeah.
New York City.
This is the tape Oscar Lupov wants us to analyze.
Okay, so is the American giving secrets to the Soviets then?
Yes, that's what he was saying. Like a Soviet's going to pick American secrets from an American trader.
I thought he was selling secrets to the Americans.
No,
okay, I get it now.
That this deal is going down for some reason. Maybe to have something when he defects. Yeah, I'm not sure what his motivations are.
It's chaos.
I don't know what to do. Work with me here. If we're successful, it will be impossible for Yakunov to ignore. They may even give us our freedom. I don't know.
Yeah, I heard you the first time. You delivered it quite clearly. Russia is not how you say pleasant place to
Well, these people seem like they're doing all right, you know?
Even the Gulag doesn't seem all that bad.
Yeah. Well, I think this is like where the scientists go, right? So they treat them better.
Right. Yeah, it's the gulag for dorks.
Yeah. The deluxe Gulag.
They let them have books and solve math problems.
Yeah.
Luxury.
These guys are treated way worse than the Nazi scientists after World War II. I'll tell you that right now.
What if I am? I'm Nadia Nerjin. My husband.
Yeah, the Nazi scientists all got to become part of NASA.
Yeah, luxury pass to USA.
And then some of them tried to go back in time, if I remember that movie correctly.
That's right.
Come in quickly. I don't like my neighbors to know what I'm doing.
Spoiler alert for Dial of Destiny, by the way. Guess I should have said that before I made that joke.
I don't have time to worry about things like this. I'm lucky if I can get food on the table.
At the table, you don't say, Tabernacle.
Your place. No, I can't stay.
Have you met my husband? I am certainly her husband, then.
Says that he loves you.
Cut me Russian pot of gold, I do.
This is our daughter, Constance. Hello, I'm Constance. You are
Born
very
in the streets of Moscow, I was.
The personnel sections call him in every week to fill out security questionnaires. Does he have to hide his marriage as if it's a disease to keep a miserable, low-paying job?
Yep.
Yeah, it's necessary.
Yes, it does.
100% required, actually.
I don't know if you're aware, but Stalinist Russia is not a pleasant system.
And turn the backs on him because he won't get a divorce. It's fine for him to say he hopes. How long has your husband been in prison? 5 years.
Can't keep track of every little thing.
Look at you. You've still got your looks.
It started off as a really intense conversation. There was no, hey, how you doing, you know?
Well, you know, in Russia, they get right to the point.
Don't end up like me.
Not once did she say, had you know, did you see the game?
It's weird when you start learning Russian, like the very beginning Russian, like because there's no articles. So there's no pass the salt. It's just pass salt.
Pass salt to me.
It sounds like really rude, almost like pass salt. You know, like, oh, jeez. All right, here. You guys are scary.
It's like that time Kevin from The Office tried to talk like a caveman.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Oh, that was great. I heard they're rebooting The Office. You hear
Really?
that? Yeah. Well, I shouldn't say I heard it because I read it. You don't hear what you read.
Unless you read
If you're reading it out loud.
That's true. That's one way. But I did hear Greg Daniels is still attached to it.
Oh yeah, he's good.
Yeah, he's funny.
He was part of that King of the Hill dream team there.
Yeah.
Yeah, him and Mike Judge.
And there's just so many big names on there, like Wes Archer and Norm Hiscock, for instance. Sounds like a made-up name, but actually worked with the kids in the hall.
Yeah.
Hey, the man himself, Big Gus.
Why didn't you tell me about that phone call to the American Embassy? Did you think you could keep that information from me? This conspiracy...
I got confused for a second that F. Murray Abraham was in this. I thought that, what's his name was playing Stalin, and I'm like, why is he grabbing him like that?
Yeah. But this guy is a historical figure. I can't remember his name, but he's actually, like, these two are actually historical people.
Right. Christopher Plummer is the other fellow.
Yeah.
Ground into manure in the camps. Here they are, all lined up. Silence forever. I keep them here, close to me. It's well. You didn't have your way. You would have destroyed the country. I alone.
You're turning into a bit of a raving madman there, Joe. How you doing?
You okay, buddy? You okay there, Joe? Apparently he was like extremely paranoid, like as his ship went on, right? Like just.
That's the danger of that system is you have to be paranoid, and the person you have to worry about is the person who's immediately under you.
Yeah.
How can I rest? How can I not work at night? No way. Get out of here!
Yeah, can't trust anyone.
I'm tired, Nico. I want to sleep.
He's got Nosferatu the butler here.
His name is Igor, isn't it? He said Igor was his name.
So, yeah.
Country depends on me. And I'm growing old like a dog.
Old like a dog? What?
They're young dogs, Joe.
Yeah, dogs grow old, but so does everything.
Only dogs.
I don't want to see anybody. I'm too old.
Old like a dog.
Old like a dog, man.
Enemies not deceive themselves. They can take advantage of my failing strengths. They will soon find out the old Georgian bear still has iron teeth.
That's right. He was Georgian. He wasn't actually from Russia. He was from Georgia.
Georgia. Yeah.
The movie decides to provide context on this one building out of the middle of nowhere.
Feeling like a day off, is it?
Enjoy it.
You should play Joseph Stalin in the movie. Like, yo, I'm ready to play Joseph Stalin, y'all. What's the accent? I'll do the Georgian accent, y'all.
I done researched his history, I did.
Do it. Why, Joe, I'm growing as old as a big old country porch dog, you know? Just sucking on a peach pit. Good old Joseph Stalin.
What's the game? Poker? How about making it a three-hander?
I'll tell you everything.
You think I'm the only informer here?
Quiet, Daron, and stop whining.
You want to know who the others are? Come with me tomorrow. I'll show you.
He's going to inform on the informers?
They were just saying, hey, we don't take snitches around here. Well, I'll tell you who all the other snitches are. Then you'll let me play?
Well, all the informers get exactly the same amount. 147 rubles. Meet me outside the pay offices at midday. I'll show you where my loyalties lie.
I, for one, didn't know he was an informant. I just didn't want him to play cards.
Kind of you to let me distress. I'll look nice tomorrow.
It must be someone special. You're blushing. Are you in love?
Don't be silly.
No. Oh, I gotta have sex with that guy who let me in to see my husband.
May I confide in you? Yes, of course. I'm in love. Yes. And
he's a gulag prisoner, so not much of a future, but still.
who is it? Is it one of the administrators? No. Oh, Clara.
It's not Stalin, is it?
Yes, it's Joseph Stalin. I'm in love with Joseph Stalin. It's all those pictures of him everywhere. Just, those steely eyes, that bold mustache.
We're going to a movie, Nadia. Want to come? No, I'm too tired. You sure? Yeah.
Hey, sure. I'm thinking again. The only movie they show over and over and over again.
What's this? A funeral? But which of you is the corpse? You all look reasonably lively to me.
Neither of us. We're off to a movie.
And what movie is that?
A German flick, The Indian Tomb.
Oh, yes. Wonderful picture. Lots of shooting, lots of killing. You'll enjoy it.
Well, goodbye, Captain. See you later, Nadia. Bye. Bye, Captain.
There's a Western movie called Guardians, I think.
Guardians?
And it's basically like a Russian Avengers.
That sounds like what's worth watching.
This doesn't look
Or
bad.
a guy he gets injected with super comrade serum.
Well, no, it's not the Soviet, but it's Russian. There's one guy who turns into like a bear. He turns into like a werebear. There's one person who like moves rocks with his mind. One guy has these giant curved blades, so he can like spin around like a wheel, and it's very weird. But it's there are moments where like, oh, that actually looked pretty good, and then moments where like they had no budget left for that shot. That looked awful.
Does the guy turn to a werebear at will, or is it like a
At will.
special?
No, at
will.
will.
Okay.
He can just turn into a bear at will. Sometimes he's like a half bear, so he's like Hulk-like. He's still wearing pants, and then sometimes he's totally a bear.
Now, does the were prefix apply to anybody who transforms into any creature?
I think
like a were-bat or a were-wolf?
I think
obviously.
bear is just a Germanic term for man, so it's man-bat.
Man-wolf, man-bat.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm.
So Batman is were-bat in...
Were-bat. There is actually a man-bat.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
Or wouldn't he be bat were if were is man?
They didn't do the were in the comic book. They just called him man-bat. They wanted to be versus Batman.
Yeah, but I mean, if were is the German word for man,
Yeah.
then Batman.
Batware.
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 I told you my husband was killed in the war. The truth is he's in prison, and I visited him today.
Oh. Well, I'm just here to have sex with you.
Okay, yeah, I'm not really interested in that. Could you please disrobe?
Dead or alive isn't doing you much good, is he?
Yeah, guy's hair.
Well. Soldier's wife. Don't lose heart. That's it then.
Ugh, such a turnoff when they mention their husbands.
Yeah. Not for me, though. I really like it. Yeah, mention your husband again.
I'd be happy.
What does your husband do? How long has he been in there for? Yeah, what's he look like? Describe to him in detail what he looks like.
Oh, yeah, just like me. I love it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
He's just sitting there going, the longer this conversation goes on, the more I'm feeling I'm not going to be having sex tonight.
God, you've been such a sad sack since you went and visited your husband in the gulag earlier today.
Days.
We don't have days.
Would you crouch down? Your head's like really out of focus.
He knows. You know what that means? He actually took me by the throat. But don't you take comfort in that. I assure you, if they put me against the wall, you'll be standing right beside me.
Oh, that's nice.
When? Tomorrow, you say? Well, I'm not sure. Well, I'm telling him tomorrow.
I hope there's more Three Stooges stuff coming up. Three Stooges as the Russian guys. Laurel and Hardy as the guy who makes the phone call, the guy on the other end.
I like that. I like that a lot, actually.
Oh, God, you're late again.
Also, Joseph Stalin.
One glass of champagne. Oh, thank you. Dara, when is Innocenti going to be here? We're about to serve dinner. I'll give you another.
I don't know. He has a lot of phone calls to make.
Remember to tell him that he must
He's
wear
getting
his
smart,
uniform.
going out and using the baseball.
We'll have to wait for another 20 minutes.
Oh, good.
Tell your husband not to drink too much.
I think that ship has probably sailed at this point.
They have a weird series of like nicknames. Like there's their full name, then their family name, then like a shortened pet name, and like there's all these different.
For Russian names, you mean?
Yeah. So you'll be reading about someone like, well, who's this person now?
No, but almost.
Hold on, Mother, you'll be late.
It'd be tough to have a nickname if your name was Nick on account of Nick's your name.
You'll have to stop by the apartment. Mother wants you to wear your dress uniform.
Nick's name is Nick. Nick's nickname is... I don't know what it is, but that's a tough sentence.
What's his last name? Knack? His name is Nick Knack? Yeah, his name is Nick Knack.
Okay.
All right, we recorded that shit. We're going to see if it matches up.
Hello.
No, they should put scarves over all the phones. So
that would be smart.
This is Clara. Forgive me for arriving uninvited.
Don't be silly, you're very welcome.
Here's a double reference for our lovely audience. That fella in the tuxedo looks like a Patrick Bateman version of Jean Ralphio.
Yeah!
Oh, he does look like Jean Ralphio, doesn't he?
In all matters except those of the heart.
Please, everyone.
That's pretty good, George. Pretty good. Pretty good.
That turn.
This is like a Russian Versailles.
Yeah, these guys look like they're doing all right.
Excellent pudding, but above excellent.
It could use a few more raisins.
That was a good cut.
Your wife's cake is splendid.
Thank you. Here we go.
What? Splendid. He shared that little cake with everyone.
And it's all crumbled up, too, with that guy's hands.
Is not to inquire too closely.
Yeah, now they're sharing liquor that this guy probably made in his toilet.
Yeah, that's right. Good old toilet vodka.
Now, my friends, I would like to make a toast to the person.
Like to make toast, in fact. Oh, well, guys, remember toast? Oh, toast was good.
I know I'm breaking tradition, but I have to speak. My heart is very, very full tonight. I just want to say that not everything in our lives is black. I mean, the happiness that we've had here tonight, this banquet, the free exchange of ideas without fear. We never had that.
Dance off?
This bald guy doesn't look convinced at all.
He's like, yeah, I'd really rather be screwing my wife right now, if that would be possible.
And my life has been blessed and degraded.
Blessed other than the gulag, you know.
Nothing compares with the genuine grandeur of human beings as I've known them in prison.
But nothing
I'm very proud of our modest anniversary.
That's a good song.
that is a good song.
That was
Written
about
by
all the friends she made in the gulag.
That's right.
Yeah.
She was in the gulag. Because Prince was in the gulag. He wrote that. So yeah, when Prince spent time in a gulag, and he wrote that song.
Joke's on them. It was just his urine.
It was all urine.
Not only are we celebrating our friend's birthday, but for the first time in
Oh, I thought that smoke was coming out of the bottle.
So did I. Oh my god.
Something horribly wrong's gone with this batch.
Granny Clampett's special brew.
Yeah. I like too. It's like, yeah, more of that. I'll have some more. Nice color on it too. Oh god.
Smoother, yes? No. Well, again.
To our glorious leader, to Cardano ADA.
Who? Sorry. Who's the Stalin guy everyone keeps mentioning? Have you done?
To a man who has served the Soviet Union selflessly, with all his heart and soul, and with complete devotion to the ideals of the revolution. Ladies and gentlemen, please raise your glasses.
Hey, who stopped clapping?
And my beloved father-in-law, State Prosecutor Pyotr Makarian.
Hey.
Sit down, please.
And everyone reacts the same way. Oh god. Oh. Yeah, I got it from some guy in the gulag.
You know, I don't like to compare us as a comedy group to Stalin as a horrible dictator, but I have to say our audiences, much like his, will also clap until they pass out.
That's right. That's right.
Soviet novelist Nikolai Galakov. And also take this opportunity to remind him that the family is the linchpin of the state, and to suggest that it's time he produced something other than great literary works. Well, I said enough, perhaps.
Time my kids.
Face, even too much.
I'm pretty sure, didn't they try to destroy the bonds of the family there in the old Soviet Union? Because the state was supposed to be the...
Yeah, well, yeah. Then they tried to weaken religion as well because of the same thing. So I guess this guy's novel, when it was released in the Soviet Union, he had to change it. And so the call wasn't about nuclear secrets. It was about something really incidental.
Right.
So you could keep the drama, but not have the political stuff. But now when you buy it, it's always... Like this copy from the library has the bomb stuff put back in.
Yep. And then after Soviet Russia fell, that was the end of all attacks on the family and all attacks on religion. It never happened again.
That's right. That's right.
Multiply and prosper. I want the grandchildren. Please.
Is he starting again?
He always does when he's
Ooh, a roast
Hey,
pig.
pigs!
Have either of you guys eaten a pig that way?
No, never have.
I've always been intrigued by the idea, but I've never done it.
I've never had it come out whole like that, but I've had like a side of it, right? Like proper barbecued. Like
I've done that
side.
too, but the whole pig though, I'm talking.
Yeah. A guy I used to work with, he said he went to Cuba, and because Cuba, relatively poor country, your dollar can go a long way there. So he rented a house, and he found someone who could get a pig and do it for him, like spin the rotisserie. And for the money he gave him, not only did he do the rotisserie pig, but he got friends of his to come and play music for the party.
Wow!
So they had a great time with all these Cuban guys playing music and this guy like doing a spit pig for him. They did the whole thing.
Nice,
amazing.
Gives you away. I didn't say they do in one's personal
That's so odd that they were doing so poor that they'd need that money there under Cuban regime, and that's very bizarre.
Yeah.
Yep.
Then that has to be judged in a
Well, if anyone wants to pay us money, we will go to Cuba and perform comedy for you.
Yeah,
while you eat your roast pig.
We'll go.
Everything is progressing according to plan. Industry is flourishing. Agriculture is producing a surplus.
And I suppose science is moving forward and culture shines like a rainbow. Look,
No, those are being really repressed. But the grain and the industry are doing great.
Gangbusters.
this is the real world. Right here in this prison.
These two guys don't have the chemistry of a Walter Matthau and a Jack Lemmon.
Yeah, oh yeah, they would have been good in this movie.
So the movie is obviously trying to show us the juxtaposition here of a party of these Russian elites versus those in the gulag, how they have fun.
I wonder if I could ask for
And how the elite one is better.
Yes.
Obviously, yes. Of
That was
course.
They look like they're having so much fun. They got cake in the gulag.
Unfortunately, he's very ill and we're afraid that...
Well, is it better, though? Because in these ones, you can't even say what you think because you'll get thrown in the other party.
Well, it depends. Depends what you think. If you think that Stalin's really great, you can say whatever you like.
That's true.
Yeah.
Which is what we all think, obviously.
Of course, obviously.
Be quiet. Luba, call my secretary.
Remember when a man had that power? He could just tell a woman, "What's your face? Be quiet." And then he won.
Clara.
You're off to Paris again, are you?
Yes, on Tuesday, yes.
I was there once, just after the war. It was quite bleak.
It's the old Paris again these days.
I may be traveling there again myself. On research.
Oh, what are you working on?
Matter of fact, I was going to contact you. And I'm thinking of doing something about the...
So that's interesting. Hey, so Paris after the war was pretty bleak. I think that's probably true. Isn't it interesting how, like a group like Monty Python, for instance, Hitler was being spoofed, 10 years after the war?
Yeah, yeah.
You know? And everybody was like, mock those Nazis, mock them. They were more willing to show mocking of Nazis back then than they are in modern comedy. It's so strange.
Yeah.
But soon I realized...
There are Nazis walking around out there.
People who are literally affected by it, who lived through the war, were alive back then. But nowadays, it's complete disconnect from that time period.
I worked with a guy in a play once. He's Jewish, and he always had a problem, not with the mocking of Nazis, but he's talking about how often they're used as comic book villains, like Hellboy, the Red Skull, things like that. And he says he didn't like that because he said, you know what it does? It cartoons them, which you think would be a good thing, but it makes them just silly little harmless cartoon villains.
That's fair.
And it takes away from the fact that these were real people who made real choices and could very easily happen again in any given country in any in certain circumstances.
100%, yeah.
So I was like, yeah, I think you have a point there. But yeah, the lampooning and ridiculing, you'd think they'd be all over it, more and more.
Well, Mel Brooks is one of the most famous mockers of Nazis, right? I mean,
yeah.
Right.
Dedicated my life to, and I must respect that.
I see. That's a good point, actually, Justin. Making them just kind of the generic stand-in villain, kind of softens everything. It's like when you make the Russians the bad guy too, though.
Yeah,
it's the same sort of
deal.
You
don't equate with real choices these people made.
That's interesting. That's a good point.
You can see this is happening again. You don't equate with it happening again. It's just these cartoony things. I thought he made a good point.
That's an interesting point for sure.
Still like Hellboy comics.
Of course.
I'm reading them, but yeah.
And I think, there's also a real danger in a cartoon villain becoming a real villain.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, you make Elmer Fudd more and more realistic, and people forget about the cartoony antics that hunters are capable of.
Since we have all been imprisoned justly, and you are the exception, then that means that our jailers are in the right, and you, clearly, belong with them.
Okay.
Why do you always have to do this on your birthday? Then he just walks back in I forgot I was in a gulag and couldn't actually go anywhere.
Yeah, no freedom of movement here. That's another thing I find wild about the whole Russian thing. It's like they were able to muster up enough people and enough outrage to do a revolution during Tsar times when things were, okay, bad. But, you know, like not the end of the world bad, I guess I'd say.
It depends who you were. Like,
pretty bad. I'm not saying it was great. I'm not saying it's great by any stretch of the imagination. But then you see stuff like this. This is the same situation. How is this different from the Tsar here?
The thing is convincing them that the country's now for them. You convince them that, like, it works with all sorts of governments, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it even works for like places like here, where you convince people that no, you know, rich people shouldn't pay taxes, and you should, you know, because you may be rich one day, and then you won't want to pay taxes either. You know, like it's weird what you can convince people of. You know.
Yep.
What's going on? Do you see love?
More than ever. I don't think.
Yeah, it's all about the idea. The idea is all you need.
Yeah. Yeah, if you convince people the idea is big enough, right? Well, the reason why it's not false.
Gotta sell the dream.
Right.
Yeah, you gotta sell the dream, that's right.
I'm lost, Clara.
I wonder how many, like what percentage of the actual population took part in like the Russian Revolution.
Yeah, I wonder. Because I heard
a really
with the,
small percentage of the population.
Yeah.
I heard with the American Revolution, it was 3%.
I believe that.
Yeah, because it was a lot of like, it was the wealthy landowners that wanted to separate, and they had to pay people like farmers to be soldiers, right?
Yeah.
To be interested, because the farmers were like, well, okay, so I don't pay taxes to the king, but I just pay taxes to you. What the hell's the difference? What do I care? Well, okay, here's some money. Okay, well then yes, yay, freedom. I'll fight. Right? But yeah, it wasn't like the whole country rose up. It was just a small percentage of the elite.
Clara, I'd help him if I could, but it's a bad time for me.
Revolution was the same.
I'm assuming it was, yeah. Probably the French Revolution, same sort of deal.
Yeah.
There are some friends I'll reach tomorrow in the ministry hall.
All right, stop the revolution, everyone. Stop the revolution. We can just eat cake. It's not a problem.
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, you know what? She had a point. Let's just eat cake, guys.
I don't know why I didn't think of that.
Good. Have you tried this cake? It's pretty good.
I know we really all wanted bread for dinner, but guys, cake, okay?
I don't want to, I'll just sweeten the pot a bit. There's raspberry jam inside, so.
Clara, I must talk to you.
Yes, of course, Nikolai.
No, not here. Can we go out in the hall?
Yes, of course.
Actually, not here. Go out in the yard.
You said you had
Do you mind if we cross the street?
Clara, I didn't know what you'd think of me. I've ordered 2 seats for the Aurora restaurant for New Year's Eve.
For the Aurora room? What did he say?
Aurora restaurant. New Year's
restaurant.
Eve.
Okay. I thought he said restroom.
They're both for me. I like to put my feet up.
Nikolai, please.
Clara.
Please, more? Yeah.
I want you to be my wife.
I know my face is crooked, but I'll love you.
That's good for her, eh? That's the one whose husband's in the gulag, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
What,
so
that
within
woman who
one
was kissed?
Yeah, was
No,
that
no.
her?
No, that's the young girl who's in love with the informant prisoner.
Oh, okay. Okay, never mind then.
I meant to go to the pharmacy, but I forgot.
Right, it's the short-haired lady whose husband is in there.
Hold on. We got to hear that again.
All right.
Where are your pills? I ran out. I meant to go to the pharmacy, but I forgot.
I went to go to the pharmacy, but I'm locked in a gulag.
That would have been a much funnier line.
Sorry, I need this pill. All right, informant, we get it.
He needs his pills. Oh, are they heart pills? No, Viagra.
He just really likes to have an erection at all times.
How is he? He seems a little better.
Seems like not moving or breathing anymore, so, you know.
About my cousin Boris. Have I mentioned him to you? He was sent to the camps for Trotskyite activities and murdered by some anti-Semites. I was the one who denounced him. Terrible thing to have on your conscience. No.
In Russia, they used to do a dance. It's called the Fox Trotsky.
Fox Trotsky.
I never regretted it.
He was killed. He was in Mexico, wasn't he?
He's the one that was killed with an ice pick, wasn't he?
Yeah, that I don't know, but I think it was in Latin America. He was killed.
He's having an angina attack. My medical officer.
No, I have a penis, man. Come on.
No, it's your angina, man.
I will make a formal complaint against you. Now, get that goddamn medical officer up here now.
Like, I'm sorry, you're a prisoner here? Did you not know that?
Formal complaint.
Funny that
can't have one of those.
Angina hurts your chest and your arm. You know, you'd think it'd be the groin.
It should be the groin.
That name? No.
They should rename it Armgina.
I have Libra Majoro disease.
Oh, man, I can just see that guard sprinting to get the medical officer and then stopping halfway. He's like, wait a minute, I'm the guard here.
I can just shoot this guy.
Just now, I thought to myself, what if I go to her?
That wasn't an invite to come in. I'm just warm.
Just playing nookie hooky.
Okay, now
Right,
this is the wife then, right?
This is his wife, and their marriage was in trouble at the beginning, we found out. But I think he's planning to go to Paris and not come back, so maybe he's like, you know what?
Do a re-seduction before he leaves.
Yeah.
Yanka, what's wrong?
Nothing.
What's wrong? Normally you don't kiss well.
This is an extended kissing scene.
End of part 2.
There we go.
All right, we're out of here.
Oh, man, it'd be so funny if we ended the stream right now.
Yeah, we're out of here. So what's going to happen in part 3? Is the guy going to go to Paris and defect? Are they going to find out who it is? How's the guy's angina? Is that going to be all right?
Right.
What's Claire
Will we ever hear the F word in this movie?
Fudge?
Fish.
Oh,
fish.
Fish. Not a lot of ports for Russia. They got to take over other countries to get ports. Well, they have a lot of ocean front, but it's all very cold.
Yeah, not great port weather.
Yeah.
Well, we've seen part 1, we've seen part 2, and now we got to watch the equivalent of Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Wow, yeah.
I hope it also has Ewoks.
This one will have Ewoks for sure. I'm sure of it. A lot of merchandise coming out around part 3. You can buy a Joseph Stalin mustache you can pin on yourself.
Get the Joseph Stalin playset. It's just the Ewok village.
It's just a pistol.
Well, thanks for joining us for this stream. We hope you enjoyed it, obviously, because why would we want you to hate it? That'd be weird.
That would seem really stupid of us to play something that we like, I hope these guys fucking hate.
We should get on the same page before next show, because I was going a totally opposite direction from you guys.
Hit the subscribe button, because that's fun to do.
Yeah.
And kill the camera.
Kill those cameras. Bye-bye.
We'll see you later. Bye.